Welcome to Viral Buzz News. Today we address a topic of great relevance for Latin America and the world: the presidential elections in Venezuela. Venezuelans are voting in a presidential election whose outcome will lead to a radical change in politics, or extend for 6 more years the policies that caused the world's worst economic collapse in peacetime. Whether President Nicolás Maduro or his main opponent, former diplomat Edmundo González, is elected, Sunday's election will have ripple effects across the Americas, as both government opponents and supporters have expressed interest in emigrating if Maduro wins. González represents a coalition of opposition parties after being selected in April as a substitute for opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, who was blocked by the Maduro-controlled Supreme Court of Justice. For once, opposition factions have managed to unite behind a single candidate. Polling stations opened at 6 a.m., but voters began queuing at some polling centers across the country long before, sharing water, coffee, and snacks for several hours. Defense Minister General Vladimir Padrino Lopez praised his fellow Venezuelans for peacefully exercising their civic duty and voting on Sunday. The armed forces are the traditional arbiter of political disputes in Venezuela, so Padrino's every word is closely followed. In 2015, when the opposition swept the parliamentary elections, he acknowledged the results even before Maduro admitted defeat. On Sunday night, Padrino, flanked by senior uniformed commanders, was more discreet, but also said that Maduro had summoned him to a meeting to ensure the peaceful voting environment persists once the results are announced. Jorge Rodriguez, Maduro's campaign chief and head of the mostly pro-government National Assembly, expressed confidence that the elections would be favorable for the ruling party. "We can't give results, but I can show my face," Rodriguez said. "Violence failed, hatred failed. Love won, independence won, Venezuelan sovereignty won, and peace won," referring to the main slogans of the ruling party's campaign. Rodriguez refrained from giving figures, stating that the ruling party is respectful of the laws of our country and the Constitution. He added that we will wait for the first preliminary bulletin from the National Electoral Council, CNE. The vote count will be conducted entirely through an automated system. The first preliminary results are expected to be announced late Sunday. Authorities have said that these results will only be released when deemed irreversible. Venezuelan law prohibits the dissemination of exit polls before the first official bulletin. Opposition candidate Edmundo González, along with opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, urge opposition party observers to remain at polling centers until results are received. Maduro's opponents, who have expressed doubts about the impartiality of electoral authorities, consider a copy of the records issued by voting machines a key document to prove that the results accurately reflect each vote cast. "We remind all citizens that they have the right to participate in verification," González told the press. Machado said the elections are at a crucial stage and calmly called for the orderly presence of opposition representatives at all centers. "No one leaves the polling center until we have the results in our hands," she stated. "We are already receiving voting records and counting them one by one." 15 minutes after the closing time, about 40 people were intercepted by an armed soldier, a member of a popular militia, and other armed forces members when they requested access to a polling center in the poor neighborhood of Cadia to witness the vote counting process as allowed by law. They were told they could not enter because people were still voting, but no voters were visible inside, and armed forces members and electoral authority representatives refused to close the site. Minutes later, government-affiliated gang members appeared on motorcycles to intimidate people trying to witness the vote count. The gang members left minutes later as voters shouted, "Go away! Go away!" Former Congresswoman Delsa Solorzano, a representative of the opposition coalition Plataforma Unitaria, said authorities prevented her from entering the National Electoral Council despite being accredited. They also blocked the entry of 2 other coalition representatives. "We insist that it's not the same to make a complaint in person as it is to do it via WhatsApp or email," said the veteran politician, known for her defense of human rights and imprisoned political leaders. "They give no reason for this situation." Still, she said her coalition was optimistic. "We have many reasons to smile," she stated. "What we ask is that they simply follow the law." An ally of the ruling party was booed when he arrived at the polls to vote. In the state of Miranda, which includes part of the capital, some voters shouted, "Get out! Get out!" when Governor Hector Rodriguez arrived at his polling station. Rodriguez is a member of the delegation representing President Nicolás Maduro in negotiations with the US-backed Plataforma Unitaria. UN Refugee Agency Director Filippo Grandi spoke today with the Associated Press in Paris about his hopes for Venezuela. Whatever the outcome of the elections and any political process regarding negotiations for an agreement and an internal agreement, I wish for the Venezuelan people a return to the stability and prosperity they used to enjoy in the past, Grandi said. That's all for today on ViralBuzz News. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and hit the bell for more ViralBuzz News. See you in the next video.